Good evening everyone and welcome to qualifying for Second Chance Sunday. This is round 5, you're joining us at Spa. It is a morning race, as you can see the server is at 5 AM. It's a 1 hour race, so at the end of qualifying the race will begin and extend daytime. So by the end of this race, the sun will be up, but during the race it'll be sunny for drivers. So expect some different challenges tonight and expect some big battles in there. I've been looking at the grid during practice and it's fairly tightly packed. So we've got just under 40 drivers with us tonight. We've got 37 total. We're board with Sergei Krasnov at the moment. Drivers are just starting to set their laps for qualifying. They will be setting the grid for tonight's race. So if you're new to ACM or you're new to anything that we do, we are a racing league for Assetto Corsa Competizione, and run races 4 to 5 times a week at the moment, with endurance races, sprint races, and pretty much anything you want. Discord series is pretty major one, sort of rainy races. So if you do want to check us out, join Discord in the link. So the first few laps are starting to come in now. Then we'll have a look at what sort of times people are setting. I think the first couple of drivers now will be setting sort of sub 2 minutes. Sub 2 minutes 20, sorry. Jay Wolf is the first man across the line with a 218.5, followed close by with Alfie Price, who set a 219.3. I think we'll see some 250 down tonight and also some high 220 times. So I think there's quite a lot of drivers down the grid. It'll cause some spicy battles and some spicy action as well. Try and keep you there with the action. So Hanak has just posted the current fastest time. Faster Maka drivers should be doing things. Yeah, we've got Dreyer down. He was saying that he's going to be doing 2:15s during the practice session. It will be interesting. The track was fast during the practice, and now it's optimum. So drivers that have sort of changed their setup for the conditions in practice will have to do so again for this one. Go on board with Dreyer actually. We'll see what sort of times he's looking at currently. He must have missed his first lap. Go on board with him, have a look at his lines. Dreyer's been with us for quite a while. Championship, looking to get a second one here. And of course he is in the McLaren, so like Johnson in the chat, he will be doing some 15 times. In the race it'll be slightly different, obviously with a higher amount of fuel. But I think Gray will have quite a big battle in his hands tonight. Likes of Hanak. What else we got down grid? I'm not sure if Debbie's going to be down with us tonight, but he is another driver that's been competing for the top times. Hanak's definitely one to look at though. He's currently set at 217.5. I reckon he can definitely go faster than that. He's not improving at the moment. About 1.5 tenths down on his time. As I say that, he just calls him Elsa. Anything else happening at the top? We've got Solarino in the Mustang, who's currently set in 15 flat. Darren Jones in the Ferrari, just being put down a place by Krasnov, who's now in second. Darren Jones is currently on a 218 flat as well. He's about 200ths behind Solarino, so if that is their pace, it's going to be a very close race between those two for sure. As we see more drivers coming now. Astikov in Ferrari, he's set at 217.5, just a few hundreds behind Hanak. Another very fast driver running for SC Racing. We've got a couple of those drivers down the grid tonight. Krasnov's a teammate of his. Slowave down, and not tonight, but that is another driver for the team, the team that's with us quite often in running ACM badge on there or two. You can see it on the there. Where's Dreyer? Currently, see what time posts first. I'm expecting him to be up at the top, which is why I keep flicking back to him. But I'll try and keep you. So I'm not sure where actually. Not set another lap again, so having a few problems. Track limits places. If you're in the chat, focus us on them. ask a question or say hello, please do. Entertained here. Wolf set another lap. He's got 2:17.6 now in the Aston Martin. Seeing Aston Martin so high up the grid, you don't usually see it. Mic keeps cutting out and it's quite low in sound. Am I better now? I don't know if that helps. Yeah, loud now. Brilliant. Where are you tonight, John? You not racing with us? Aaron Jones is currently 8/10 up on his lap time. And he's in the final sector now, so we'll be seeing him. If he finishes the lap about 8/10 up, he'll be P1 currently. So, unfortunately, can't do Sundays at the moment. Ah, that's a shame. Yeah, we've been doing Sundays quite a while with us, so good to see you back. Lily's 54th account. Thank you for the follow. If you could follow with us over the 53 other accounts, that'd be good. I'm doing last to first, Harry. Fair enough. When I start from the pit lane on this one, I don't blame you, to be fair. That is the number 57 of Lily. Saying that in the chat. Hanak has just set a new lap. That's 2:17.2. That's a fairly good time, but I think it's not gonna. Yeah, there we go. Drea sets a 2:16.2, and he's gonna go faster than that. The second half of qualifying. It is a 20-minute session tonight, so drivers have got a lot of time to set their laps, even though there's quite a lot of drivers on the grid. Fairly even split with cars tonight. I'm not seeing too many Ferraris, which is a surprise. I'm seeing more McLarens than anything, I think. A couple of Porsches down, or Lamborghinis, but more than anything, it's McLarens, which is a bit different, but it's still no surprise. When Drea plus 200 kilograms. Well, to be honest, I don't even think it'd stop him from getting P1, P2-ish. The man's an absolute menace in the McLaren. Michael Firth doing very well. He's got a 2:17.3 at the moment in that new Mustang. Must be adapting very well. McLaren is OP here, remember. Yeah, that is true, but to be fair, it is the 5th round in a verted track series, so those drivers that signed up at the beginning would have had no idea that Spa would be a thing. Obviously, for the drivers that are new to this round, they'll have had a chance to sign up in a car of their choice. If you aren't aware, Second Chance Sunday is a 6-round series which contributes to the Sunday series. Each round is voted by you guys, so there's a poll that goes up weekly, and whichever track is voted the highest is the one that we race at. Obviously, there's a selection of tracks, so we don't end up racing at the same one each week. Let me rephrase, Make is OP at a lot of places. Yeah, to be fair, but so is the Ferrari, and we usually see that around and about, so... Shame I forgot how to drive it fast. I've been doing 3 years on ACC and I'm still not fast, so... It's not for everyone. It is certainly for Drea though, he's got a 2:16.2. Not sure he's going to improve on this lap though, I think. Unless my race control is bugged, he might be on an invalid lap. Darren Jones has set a 2:16.9, he's the second driver to break into the 2:16s in the Ferrari there. Hanak is about a second back. If a couple of drivers, to be fair, don't start gaining quite a lot of time, it's going to be a very boring race for Drea, but I'm sure he'll be happy with it because he's currently fighting for the standings in the Second Chance Sunday. I'm just going to check the standings now. Yeah, it's between him and Hanak at the moment. Drea missed round 2, and he's still fighting for the top position, so fair enough to him. And if anything, that shows how good of a driver he actually is. Lucas Hanek currently placing P2 in the standings, so he'll be looking for a solid result tonight as well. He's quite close, to be honest, to Michael Firth's lap times in that Mustang. It's only 8 or so hundredths between the two of them. As Krasnov just sets a 2:17.2, going slightly faster than Hanek and Firth. It looks like Astakov is about halfway through to 3/4 of the way through his lap time, and he's about 5/10 up on his lap time, so that'll be a 2:17 flat at the moment. We'll go on board with him for the rest of the lap. See how he pulls it together. As I was saying, Astikov and Krasnov both in the same team together. They quite frequently switching cars, to be honest. Krasnov was switched to the Audi for this season, and Astikov is in the Ferrari, but we saw him in the Audi, I believe, on Friday, so interesting to see that changes. Astikov has improved a lot recently. Yeah, that is a good point, to be fair. He's been doing a lot better. It seems like he didn't set a lap there, which is interesting. Maybe he went wide on one of the corners, but he was 5/10 up, so we know he's got it in him. Yeah, Astikov's improved a lot. We were seeing him around sort of the top 10 area, but now he's about sort of consistent top 5 pace. So it's good to see. To be honest, maybe he's been getting some tips from his teammates. I know Krasnov is quite a fast driver as well. You can see him currently placing in 3rd place. I wonder what speed that Mustang gets down the Kemmel Straights. Looking at the speed trap, to be honest, the fastest car is a McLaren, and that is the McLaren of Razkazchikov, who's done 275 kilometers an hour. The fastest Mustang that we've got is Michael Firth set in 271, Luque is set in 268. So to be honest, they're not actually looking too fast. I don't know if they're running high wing or what, but yeah, it is a McLaren that's currently fastest. What else have we got going on then? So further down the grid, Astikov slipped back down now, so is Michael Firth. Stepanov has set a very decent lap there, he's got 217.1. It's a very close between P3 and P11, to be honest. This is what, 6/10 separating them? As Darren Jones is still second with a 215.9. Overbeck, he's done quite well to get himself with a 217.2 as well. As we see, Gibbons has set himself a good lap time as well with a 217.3. Astikov's now down P9, but we know he's got 5/10 in him. Wolf is now down in P10 with a 217.6, closely followed by Max Hussle in that amazing career livery. I think we saw that a couple of weeks back actually in another race, and I commented about how good that livery was. Ely is currently down in P26 with a 220 flat at the moment. He's currently 4/10 up in his lap, and he's coming into the final couple of corners. So as he goes 1 second faster on his lap time, can he keep it on the final corner? He can. He drops back down to 8/10, 7/10, just into 6/10. So he goes up into P25, and he's only just behind Alfie Price in the BMW. So I reckon Ben's got a lot more time in him, to be honest. John's saying he needs to get out of that Lambo. I want to see him drive the Aston. Well, he's only just hopped in the Lambo, to be honest, and he said he preferred it. I don't know if he's actually been in the Aston, to be honest, but looks like it'll be a 3rd livery for him if he does switch to the Aston. Me and John both Aston fanboys. Although to be fair, I haven't seen you in the Aston in a while, John. Your team races with the Ferrari quite frequently, so I don't blame you for using that. He needs to drive a real car. Yeah, well, at least he's got a real house. Quite a few of us young'uns don't these days. I'll be driving the Aston for the Kyalami 6 hour. Yeah, that'll be a good event, that one. I'm certainly looking forward to it. That is the ACM Big Brain Racing 6 hours of Kyalami. It's taking place next weekend. That is the 18th of May. Start time is about 12 o'clock UTC, so if you do fancy joining us for it, I will post a link to that shortly. It is with our good friends over at Big Brain Racing. If you want to check them out as well, please do. Good little racing team. Got quite a lot coming up with them as well, so check them out if you want to. What's going on up at the top then? Andreas still setting his lap times. He's not managed to break into the 215s, although he is very close with the 216 flat. And is currently not challenged by anyone at all. Krasnov's gone P2. Very well done to you, mate. That's a 216.8, just slightly faster than Darren Jones. And to be honest, with 2 minutes left of qualifying, I don't think he's going to be competing for that. Stepanov is currently 2.5 up on his lap. I'm not sure if he just went wide there. Hopefully not, but he's currently 2 tenths up on his lap time, which will put him at 2:16.9 as well. Be interesting to see what else he's got in that lap. Astakov is now in the pit lane. He's finished with a 2:17.1, very close to the 2:16 to be fair, but just not close enough. Hanak, as I was saying earlier, who's currently P2 in the championship, is now doing 2/10 up on his 2:17.2, so he might just slip into the 2:16s as well. Solarino, who we saw up at the top earlier, I think, to be honest, with how close this grid is, any sort of improvement will be good. He's currently 2/10 up as he passes a driver on a slow lap there. So long as he keeps the final corner in touch, gets a little settled on the exit, but he is still 2/10 up, so it'll move him up into P11. Not too far behind the others, to be fair. It looks like Hanek and Max Hussle, to be fair, have both set the exact same lap time. You can see their P7, P8, 1.2 seconds greater. It's not something you see often. Tomit is sat with a 2:17.8 at the moment, down in P14. Pryor's out at the moment behind him with a 2:18 flat. He's about 1/10 up and he's still in sector 1, so keep an eye on him for his lap time. Gil Kelly, the man from Phoenix, he's currently with a 2:18.1 and he's in the pit lane, so there'll be no improvements there. Matt Vape Heaven with a 2:18.1. Not sure whether he'll improve. He's currently on par with his lap time, so he's one to watch as well. Ryan Blanchett, he's doing very well. He's currently P2 in the Discord series, I believe, so not bad going from him to be in P18 at the moment. He's got 2:18.1 as well. He's, to be fair, only about 10th and a half away from sort of P13 area. This grid is absolutely mental for how close they are, by the way. If you look from about P22 upwards, each one has only got about a 10th between each of them. So, yeah, it's going to be some very close battles tonight. Hopefully, they all keep it clean. As you can see, Luke Gator getting very unsteady with the Mustang there. It is, from what I've seen from drivers, to be honest, it is a bit difficult on the corner exits. As you can see there, the back end likes to step out a bit. That massive rear wing is just not quite big enough, fortunately. As Luke Gator bins his lap time there, he's currently sat on a 2:18.5 and he's not going to improve on that, so he'll be starting in P22. Christian Didier with a 2:19 flat has just crossed the line there, and he's kept himself in P24. Alfie Price, who we were on with earlier, the 2:19.3, he's not improving on his lap time, and yeah, he's gonna cancel that there as well. Ben Ely finished in P26 with the 2:19.4, so we did see an improvement from him. Good to see. And the only man out left on track is just finishing his lap time now, and he's going to get himself up into 29 with a 2:20.5. So that rounds out the grid for this qualifying session. Drea unable to make the 2:15s like he promised he would. Still, nonetheless, incredibly good going. The only man to really give a challenge to him was Mr. Nathaniel Fever, who set a 2:16.5. So I think, to be honest, as long as Drea keeps it clean, it'll be a very easy race for him. Krasnov got himself onto the provisional podium position with a 2:16.8. Darren Jones not too far behind with a 2:16.9. So that is the grid for qualifying confirmed, and it'll be into the race shortly. As long as Raz Kazchikov finishes their lap as they go in the final corner now, about 7/10 up, and that should place them, to be fair, up into P14. So very well done to them now. That's qualifying. A fairly decent grid that we've got going tonight. I think we'll see a lot of drivers having some fairly close battles, which will be good to see. I'll try and keep you updated with what I can. I will be covering some of the stewarding tonight if the racing does get boring, so if you see some incidents pop up, that is why. I will try and keep you updated with the action as much as I can. I can't promise too much. I'm not the best commentator that we've got. Fortunately, no one else was free this evening. So, quite a lot of drivers on the grid. You can see, if I get a better camera angle on this, you can see them all lined up. It is a long formation lap, so the drivers will be completing the full lap of Spa before they start and head into Eau Rouge. It'll be a difficult one tonight. Obviously going up Eau Rouge last time. It's the highlighted clip of this channel. Very chaotic. I think almost every car had at least a minute of damage on it after that incident, but the second time round it was fairly clean. So long as they manage to make it through at least once tonight, I'm happy. Otherwise, it'll be a lot of formation laps covered. The rules that we have for this are if you are the cause of an incident during the start, then you will be sent back to the pit lane for any further route starts. So it's quite a big incentive to not make a mistake, basically. Well, let's see how this pans out. Yeah, it will be interesting. Hopefully, it is all kept clean. I've got faith in these drivers. Actually, very clean and fair with each other, so I've got no issues with them doing as they are doing. So 20 seconds until the sessions start then. I defo have the newest car. Interesting adjective for what that means, but either way, should be focusing on the race. Best of luck to you, and best of luck to everyone else as well. Looks like we've got all drivers starting up equally. You can see all the lights on the grid. You can see, as I was saying, the server's sort of turning into daytime now, so the further we get into the race, brighter it'll get. Obviously, some drivers will have an issue with the sun coming up if it is in a particular angle, but that is the point of this race. It's meant to be sort of like a challenge without anything too major. As long as you can see the track and it's not wet, a lot of drivers don't have a problem. Quite a few good liveries on the grid tonight. I did do a sync, so if yours isn't here, then that is why. We'll jump on board with Dre then. We'll have a look at what he's seeing behind him. So I think, to be honest, Dre is going to have this in the bag easily tonight. The man is about 5 tenths faster in qualifying, so he's bound to be at least a couple tenths faster in the race as well. Provided he's all okay with blue flags and everything of the sort, then I feel it could be quite a see what all of the drivers are saying. Yeah, Eric himself has just said that a 16 flat is frustrating. He was hoping for a 215, to be fair to him. He might even get it in the race, to be fair. I wouldn't put it past him. Very fast driver. See the drivers behind. That is Nathaniel Fever behind, warming up his tyres. All drivers have an opinion on what the best way is to warm up your tyres. Some drivers like to do weave-ins, some just like to hold their brakes. Me personally, I'll just hold my brakes. Some drivers like to argue that when you weave side to side it starts the graining phase early. But I suppose it's up to each individual driver what they do. It's like a worm going around the track on that track map. Well, we're racing around the formation lap then. I'll give us a minute to talk about Uplay. Uplay is a online gaming key store. It's got thousands of deals on there, thousands of packages for games, all cheaper than retail price, a lot cheaper than you'll find elsewhere as well. If you want to get into ACC or you want to get into any racing games, you can find some sweet deals on there. And there'll be a link that's posted automatically in about a minute or so, so if you do want to check them out, please do so. Had a lot of positive reviews from drivers who have used them, which is always good to hear as well. See the back of the grid just coming around the final corner, or one of the corners here. Tell you what, I do hope they all do it in this first start, because the formation lap is quite boring. Dre is trying to push his head as fast as he can. The track's currently 16 degrees. I reckon that'll go up to at least about 22, or maybe in the 20s by the end of the race. It'll get hot fast as soon as that sun comes up. The track will warm up and the tyre dynamic will change. There is a mandatory pit stop for this race. The drivers will be finding themselves coming into the pits at one point. That is for tyre change or refuel. Refuel is fixed and it is also mandated, so the drivers do at least one of the two. Obviously, if drivers do take tyres, it'll be an extra 5 seconds on their pit stop. So it's all about strategy really. If you want to save 5 seconds and get on with it, or you want to use up 5 seconds and get some fresh boots on. It's a long pit lane here tonight, so drivers need to minimise the amount of time that they spend in there as much as possible. Obviously that goes for drive-throughs as well, and stop-go penalties or any other penalties that they get. The longer that you sat stationary, obviously you lose out on a lot of time. So we'll see some definite pit stop dynamic changes. So you can see the link going in the chat there. So I'll get a decent camera angle for this race starts. It doesn't start until we're heading down into Eau Rouge, but I will get prepared nonetheless. So yeah, as I said last time that we were here, we had quite a big pile up at Eau Rouge, but I'm hoping it won't be the same today. We've been talking about it before the race, and I think a lot of drivers have unanimously agreed that it's not what we want. But you know, you can never trust that. There might be one driver that decides, you know, my destiny's the wall, or my destiny is another car. Either way, it's going to be a fun one, so stick around for this race start. Rounding the technically first corner, but it is the last corner of the formation lap. Looks like Nathaniel's quite a way ahead of right there, but Dreas looks like ahead, so it'll be fine there. They'll be waiting for 70 km an hour, and they'll be waiting for the green light, which is about any time now. And we are away. 60 minutes is underway. The Ferrari of Darren Jones is off to a good start. It looks like they've made it through at the front alright. A lot of drivers have gone wide there. You can see, I think that's Hanek on the side that took the off-track escape. I'm not seeing any yellow flags further behind. There is one driver that's gone slightly wide, and there's a lot of drivers with yellow flags now. Car 112 has had a problem. I think that's Alfie Price, who had a bit of a problem there. We'll try and go back and see what happened as he went through. Tap on behind, and looks like okay. Looks like they steered into everyone else, which caused a lot of problems. That'll be quite a harsh post-race penalty for them. But to be honest, I don't think that's too bad of a race start, so we'll continue from where we're going. It's not worth doing a full restart for that. The front of the grid got through fairly okay, and that's all we want to see. Obviously, a restart, it's only required if we think it'll change next time, and to be honest, I'm glad we got through the majority of the grid okay. So Dreas currently front, followed by Nathaniel. It looks like Darren Jones has beaten Astakov and Krasnov. Krasnov has actually dropped down to P6 in all of the kerfuffle that's gone on. You can see him all the way at the back there in the Audi. But Astakov has made his way up from about P6 into P4, so fair enough to him. And Darren Jones has obviously made up the place that was Krasnov's. Stepanov is still in his position, so he's obviously lost out to Astakov in there as well. Max Hussle is a driver that's lost out from the start. He's dropped down 2 places into P9. Michael Firth is in his qualifying position as well in that Mustang. Let's see what's happening then. So a lot of drivers quite close to each other. You can see Pryor on the back of Solarino there. Obviously drivers have 60 minutes tonight. There's absolutely no need to make a move, especially on the first lap. You can see Ben and Gemial having a small battle there. I'll try and keep with the front drivers for now. But I do understand that they will spread out a little bit. You can see Darren Jones sorting to spread away from the top 2 at the moment, despite setting the current fastest lap. So at the top, oh, and that's Dreyer. That's Dreyer off on the side there. I completely missed what happened to him. I don't know if that was a tap on the back, or I don't know if that was a collision or anything of the sort there. I think it was potentially a collision from behind. We'll try and get a decent camera on that. Yeah. That was Nathaniel late on the brakes there, and he's waited to let him back past. As you can see, Max also going very wide there. But that is a difficult. That's made it a lot more interesting for Dre now. He's got a long way to catch up to the drivers in front. I don't put it past him being able to do it. He's got Hanek in front of him, who's currently battling for the championship. That'll be an interesting battle between those two, but I think, to be honest, Dre will have it in the bag. He's about 1 second faster during qualifying, so during the race I have no doubts about his improvements. But that has put Darren Jones in the provisional P1 position, so he's got about 1 second behind to Astakov, and behind him is Stepanov, so Darren Jones, to be fair, could be in a very good position for this race. So long as he keeps it clean and so long as he has a good pit stop, that is a good race position for him. Further down the grid, let's have a look at what's happening. Pryor still battling in front with Solarino. Bit damage on that Mustang on the front of it, but hopefully it's not too much. Behind Giorgio Spadaro in another Mustang. Two drivers for SKFR there. He's about 0.2 seconds behind Kelly, and another Mustang behind of Luke Gator is about 0.5 seconds behind them. So I reckon it could be an interesting battle between these guys. Luke Gator's had a good start, so fair play to him. Pevan is about 0.3 seconds behind Didio. A lot of grid changes going on there. The driver must have spanned or something along the lines. Iverson's returned to pit lane. That's a shame to see. Hopefully he's all okay then, hopefully he gets all back out as well. Liski's returned to pit lane as well, so hopefully he manages to get everything going. Following up back into the leaders then, Drea's still right behind Hanak. I'm going to stick on this battle for a while, as I feel it could get quite spicy between them. If you're in chat and you want us to focus on anyone, let me know. Give us a driver number or a name and I'll do so. Hanak goes slightly wide on that corner there, but he'll get a better run down the start-finish straights and into Rouge. Looks like Drea actually not able to make him, but it's McLaren versus McLaren, so equal machinery. It's up to the driver's skill as Hanak slightly cuts that corner there. That'll slow him down. Obviously, Drea's got the slipstream there as well. This could be an easy overtake for him, to be honest. I was expecting more of a battle, but as we mentioned, that Astikov and Stepanov having a battle there. Looks like Stepanov's made his way through fairly. Astikov might decide to battle it. He decides the easy route there and decides to keep back. There is 55 minutes left of the race, so there's absolutely no need for him to take a risk like that. But from the onboard of Hanak, it looks like Drea's made up one position already, so fair play to him. He's got about a second in front to Krasnov, so a little bit of work to do there. But like I said, he's got 55 minutes. He'll be able to make up that fine. Astikov, we saw him battling with Stepanov. Stepanov's currently got the current fastest lap with a 2:17.6. Jones had a 2:17.5, but that was invalidated. He's about 2 seconds in front of Stepanov now, so he is well and truly running away with it, thanks to the little collision that Nathaniel and Drea had. Nathaniel, speaking of, he finds himself down in about P20, now P19. After that incident. I know he did wait for Drea to get back going again, so fair play to him. Goes slightly wide there, but I think he'll maintain his position. Yeah, I think he recognised his mistake, and he just decided to give that place back, which is good sportsmanship, but it is a shame that contact happened in the first place. Ben Ely is currently battling with Darkness. Darkness is doing really well. He's currently up in P23. I think he was saying earlier that it's a good track for him, so we'll be seeing hopefully some good battles between him and Ben Ely. Obviously Ben in that Lamborghini, a very nice livery. He got that as part of his Patreon. Obviously if you join us as part of the Patreon tier 2 or above, you get a free livery. Very high quality, as you can see from Ben there. And done within a suitable amount of time as well, so if you want to check that out, all the links are in the Discord. It's a very close three-way battle between these two, to be fair. We've got Pevan behind, who's currently looking to make an overtake on Ely. That means that Ely's going to be slightly behind Darkness, but I think, to be honest, they're all going to have a battle as Pevan actually looks at the inside. We'll have a different camera angle for this, and we'll see what they're doing. I don't want to stray too far away from the action up top, as I know that Overbeck is currently 0.2 behind Hanak, and Drea is currently not. Oh, and that's the spin behind. Hopefully there's no more collisions because of that. There's a McLaren off on the side of the track. I'm not sure which McLaren that is. Is that Rush? No, it's... Oh, I don't know which McLaren that is. I can't find one. But there was a McLaren stranded there. Hopefully they got back. It was a Mustang that was involved as well, I believe. So I don't know which one that might have been. Kelly's currently battling with Spadaro. Very close battle between all four cars there. See Pevan's still behind Ely and Darkness. I'll try and keep up with what's happening up front. As we saw that little collision that happened there, sort of spread out the grid a little bit more now. But I believe that was a collision between Max Hustle and Cove, so not entirely sure what exactly happened there. try and find what happened. No, this was a separate. It was just a little ball bang in between these two. If I can, I think it was these two drivers. So it was T-Bone. He was going quite slow. It might have been a blue flag driver actually that got caught on the inside of car number 85. Car number 86. That was the 86 of Michael Firth. That's unfortunate to see. He's now down in P19 because of that. But yeah, blue flag incident there. It's unfortunate to see, but it'll be a harsh penalty for him post-race. Razkazicov is currently battling with 4 other drivers. That's Pryor behind, and that is, I believe, Spadaro and Solarino around them as well. Porsche in front, that's Tom 8. Very harsh defending from Razkazicov. Is not wanting to give up that position, but fair play to him as that Mustang, both Mustangs actually get slightly wide, a rear end on the exit there. This is going to be two-way between Eau Rouge, it looks like. One of them's going to have to put their way in. Wow, that was close between the Mustang and the McLaren there. There must have been inches to spare between those two. But it looks like Razkazicov has made his way through nice and cleanly. Dreher's made his way past Krasnov now. We've missed that, unfortunately. It might have been a mistake from Krasnov actually, because he's gone quite easily. He's now 1.5 seconds behind Astikov, and once he overtakes Astikov, he will be back in the podium positions. Still a battle between these two. You can see up ahead they've sort of spread out a little bit, but Pryor very clean and actually the highest rated driver in ACM. He's got an ACM rating of over 200. At the first and only driver to achieve the likes of that. He's driven just under 2,000 laps with us. Massive thank you to you, mate, for you, mate. You're a big support to us. We've got a yellow flag for car number 86. I believe that's Michael Firth again. Oh, he's gone in the wall. That's unfortunate to see. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Maybe it was a little bump from behind. I think that's Saloev behind actually, who gave him a slight tap on the corner there and didn't manage to hold it. Maybe an overcorrection there. Hopefully he gets it going again though. It is a shame to see him like that. Unless he has gone. Can't see him on the grid anymore. Shame to see him out of the race. Yeah, he's typing in the chat as well. It's not been a good one for him. Hopefully we'll see him back next week. What else is going on there? Price still right behind Spadaro in that Mustang in front. I think we've got the likes of Nathaniel behind now. And as we saw, Nathaniel's a very fast driver. He's definitely got the speed on both Pryor and Spadaro. He's just got to pick his moments carefully. See what Michael's saying about his incident in a minute. Dreher's now caught up to Astikov quite a little bit. He's about 0.6 behind Astikov now, and Astikov's about 0.6 behind Stepanov. So it could be an interesting battle towards the end between these top 4, especially as Darren Jones is about 1.3 seconds ahead. The rate that Dreher's catching, I think it'll certainly be still a Dreher P1 at the end there, providing he keeps it clean, of course. As we saw from qualifying, a very fast driver. But Nathaniel's got the speed down this straight. It's up to him which side he's going to pick. I think he's going to go for the right hand side. Pryor's also got the speed on Spadaro in front, but he's not going to be able to make that move. Fair play to you, mate, for backing out on that one. Some good sportsmanship there. Looks like that overtake was fairly clean though. I think Pryor recognising that Nathaniel's quite a bit faster, and he's just allowed him to overtake, which is a smart move because obviously now these two in front are going to battle, and if there is a big battle, then Spadaro is going to lose some time, and that'll allow Pryor to catch back up. Got a yellow flag for T-Bone Lisk again. Not sure exactly what he's doing. Ooh, that was very close there. You need to be careful, mate. You're all over the place. I think he's basically just done the same again, which is not good to see. I'll keep my eye on him for the rest of the race. Lily, who was doing a last to first challenge, unfortunately got tipped in the first lap incident, is now up into P25. She's doing very well in her position. She got a lot of damage on the front of that Ferrari from lap 1, so she'll lose a bit of time in the pit stop as well. But to get from P38 to P25 in about 5 laps is very good, so keep going. Christian Didio behind looking for a move on the outside there. Checkout incident on Rouge took me out, didn't keep brakes on my car 46. Let's have a look at that one. Car 46. This one? Yep, yeah, I saw that one. Very bad incident. It'll be a quite hefty penalty for that driver there. There's a lot of incidents in this race, to be honest, so it's going to be a long night for us again. Unfortunately, I think on Friday we had just over 113 incidents, and I think the statistic actually was, as Alfie Price just goes wide there again, the statistic was 76 penalty points given out. Well, first, rightfully unhappy about that, so it's unfortunate. He was having a good race until then, so we'll see him back next week. But as always, the incidents will get reviewed either live or post-race, depending on what happens to the rest of this. 4-minute repairs. Wow. No, just happened 2 laps ago. Let me have a look again for that incident. Car number 46, you say? I don't actually see any contact with car number 46, so not sure what's happened there. Luke Gate has found himself in P18. He's doing quite well. He's gone up from about P22-ish. Check that, P22, yeah, he's gone up 4 positions. Not as much as Gemiol, who's made his way up from P30 to P21. Darkness has also made his way up from P33 to P23, which is some good going. And you can see Lillington behind, he's also gone from P36 to P24, so some good drivers making some moves up at the back here. And Dre has now also made his move on Astakov, and he's looking to make a move on Stepanov respectively, so fair enough. Yeah. Stepanov's just gone wide there, and he's going to have to take. He's going to have a way slower line for this. You can see there. It's going to be an easy move for Dreyer, and now he's just got to focus on Jones. Stepanov went fairly deep into that corner. He almost did it again, to be fair, but I think he was making room for Astikov. But yeah, Dreyer's now made that move, and that's him up into P2. So he's now just got to focus on Darren Jones up front. He's got about 2 seconds to catch up to Jones. You can see him up front there. I'm just going to check actually how many incidents this guy has had. Keep an eye on that. I was saying to Michael about his incident, we always investigate no matter what happened. There'll always be a penalty provided, so the right punishment will be given for the drivers that cause those incidents, but it is always unfortunate to see either way. Like I said, there's been quite a lot of penalties this race, so it'll be a lot of work for us afterwards. It's been 31 so far in 16 minutes, so not the best that we've seen. A lot of those will probably be door banging though, to be fair. Stepanov and Astikov behind are having quite a major battle here. Stick on with them as Astikov's having a look at every gap he can get behind Stepanov. Stepanov, to be fair, is a driver that's made his way up from P5 up into P3, so he's doing quite well. Krasnov's dropped down from P3 to P5, so they've switched positions there. But I think he'll be doing quite well towards the end of the race. Vegas, I'll have a look at your incident after the race if we can find it in the replay. If we don't put it on the incident report, be sure to open a ticket and let us know about it so we can get it reviewed accordingly. We'll see if we can get Michael in for an interview actually about his see what he thinks of it. Obviously it'll all be quite heated, but it'd be interesting to see his perspective of it on the stream nonetheless. Astakov and Stepanov are sort of backed away from each other now. I know Max Hussle was having a little bit of a battle with Hanak in front, but he's also gone back a little ways further back down. Soloev's on the back of Ryan Blanchette. It looks like Luke's actually dropped back a bit. I'm not sure what that's about. He might have potentially had an issue with Blanchette. Yeah, just gets tapped slightly on the back there. It's unfortunate to see. But he does hold his brakes accordingly, so fair play to him. And he's on the MP21, so not too much damage, fortunately. Soloev, we'll go on board with him. We'll see if he makes a move into this corner. If he does, it'll be a dive bomb. Blanchette's moving to cover it. Hopefully they're both of them brave. Wow, that was a bit scary. I'm sure a bit of sweat came out of Soloev there. And from Blanchette too, probably saw the Porsche approaching in the mirror. If you're watching the stream and you fancy joining us, you can see the Discord link which has just been posted in chat. We host races 4 or 5 times a week at the moment, so we've got a lot on offer. Some mini endurance, some bigger endurance races, and some also sprint races such as this one. Blanchette goes a little bit wide there. That's given Soloev the opportunity, which he has taken. I don't know whether Blanchette's going to let him have that. Very late on the brakes there, but he kept it steady. He's good. Blanchette's a very clean driver. He's another driver that's doing quite well on his ACM rating. I know he's had quite a lot of unfortunate incidents the past couple races with us, but he's been a lot better recently, so it's good to see. He's competing for sure for some of the top positions in the Discord series, but I think he's about P2. So you've got a good shot of that winning. He's trying to get past Lisk there. It's a blue flagged driver. Does so. Ben Ely is currently now behind Luke Gator. Luke Gator in that Mustang, of course, he goes slightly wide on that corner there, but no worries. As long as he doesn't get a track cut or anything of the sort, then he's fine. Astakov still behind Stepanov up the front. Dreas still behind Darren Jones, although catching at a rate of knots. You can see he's now perfectly within view of him. Darren will be wondering what he can do to stop that. So you can see the pit window open now. Drivers have got 20 minutes to do their pit stop. That is a tyre change or a refuel. Obviously it matters quite a lot where you come out. Obviously if you come out in traffic as one of the leading cars, it'll be a change of position, and if you come out in some gap, then it'll be a nice easy race for you. You'll be quite ahead of anyone that can come out in traffic. So Dre will be planning not only that, but what he's going to do with the man in front of him. Looks like Lisk has had another unfortunate spin. Ray is still chasing. What else we got going on down the grid? Looks like Darkness is currently putting pressure on. I believe that's Peven in front. As you can see, Lisk going wide again there. Fair enough to him. Pryor's about 0.4 back from Spadaro. Spadaro's looks like he's pulled away a little bit from Pryor. So I don't know if Pryor's had a couple graining laps on tyres, which is why I dropped back. But it looks like they're getting closer to each other now, so keep our eyes on that. Max Hussle has got back up towards Hanak. He's about half a second. And Treya's catching quite fast now to Jones, so I'll try and keep on with this battle. Jones is a good driver from what I've seen so far. And so is Dreyer, obviously, as Jones goes for the early pit, so he is one of the first drivers up front to go for his pit stop. It'd be interesting to see where he comes out. I reckon it'll be, to be honest, in some clean air. I wonder how Dreyer will respond to that. It will have some clean air now, which means it'll be very fast. So whether or not Jones decides to take tyres and fuel, will also decide quite a lot, and the same for Dreyer as well. If Dreyer decides to take some fresh boots as well as fuel, then he'll be using 5 seconds in the pit lane. So we'll keep our eye on that. But that is the battle for that done. You can see Wolf is now behind. I think that's Raznor in SC Racing Audi there. My timing sheet is a little bit off due to the car's pitting. Just to say, I didn't hit the carve out to swerve a lot on Irish Divide, whoever it was rolling back onto the race line, and I went over for not calling replay as tickets. Enjoy the rest of the race. Yeah, no worries, mate. We'll post the replay to the channel, so feel free to download that and record anything that you need to. It is unfortunate to hear that you didn't have that incident. Hopefully, you're down with us again. What else we got going on then? So, a lot of drivers in the pit lane. Darren Jones, obviously, Astikov, he's in the pit lane now as well. Solarino's in the pit lane, Spadaro's in the pit lane. Both of those teammates, so they might have some sort of strategy sorted out there. Rulak is in the pit lane as well, and I think that's the majority of people that are in the pit lane. We have had a couple of people further down. Iveson's done his pit stop. Gossel and Kelly have also done their pit stop. We'll go on board with Darren Jones. We'll see where he emerges. He's got quite a lot of clean air, to be fair, if you look at the track map. Got car 91 is coming onto the final corner now, but that is not going to be any effect to Darren Jones. So Darren Jones and Eric Dreyer are both presented with some free air now, and they'll have a lot of time left for this race to make the most of it. We'll go on board with Dreyer. We'll see if he responds to the pit stop made. He doesn't. He continues on. So what I think will be happening there is Jones has gone for the early pit stop, and I think Dreyer will go for the late pit stop. Whether he decides to take tyres or not is another factor. Looking at the time stopped, it looks like Darren Jones not only pitted for tyres, but also pitted for damage. He stopped for 38 seconds, so that is at least 8 seconds of damage on that car. Which is, to be fair, now fixed, but whether or not Dreyer has any from that incident that he had will be interesting to see. Having a look at what everyone else has done then, Astikov only took fuel, he did not take tyres, and he was, I believe, the only one to do that. So he'll be at least a couple seconds ahead of the drivers who haven't taken only fuel. As I always say, if you're in the chat, if you want us to focus on anyone, let me know and I will do so. Hanak, Max Hustle is actually now, he's got ahead of Hanak and he's now in P3. Obviously, drivers that have gone into the pit lane have changed that, and I believe Krasnov has actually dropped down a little bit, so I'm not sure what happened with him there, whether he had an incident, potentially Hanak. Hanak let on the brakes, and yeah, just tapped the rear end there. We've seen a lot of incidents like that. Hanak carries on as well, but it looks like they got going. A lot of incidents like that. I think it'll have to be a general warning to all drivers just to be careful on their braking. It looks like Jemmy All's got a drive through. I think that'll be for track limits more than likely. It's unfortunate to see, but it does happen. If you at the track at any point, you'll get a track cut. You can have 4 of those. The 4th one, you'll get a drive-through penalty. Obviously at Spa, I reduce the amount of time you spend in the pit lane, how long the pit lane is. Dreyer is still out. He'll be crossing the start-finish line very soon. So it'll be interesting to see whether he takes it this time. Like I said, I believe he'll be taking the longest stint on this. Responds to what Jones did. He's got clean air at the moment. I think, to be honest, as soon as he comes into contact with any blue flag drivers or something of the sort, then he probably will come into the pit lane. You can see Lisk on the outside there having some more problems. Have a look at what else is going on then. So, Luke Gator, he's actually pulled away a little bit from Ben Ely, who was behind him. Heaven's now currently putting a little bit of pressure on Ben Ely instead. He's about half a second behind, respectively. Daniel, who we saw having the contacts at the start of the race, is now in P9, P8, sorry. Obviously with those drivers that have pit stop, he's made up of some positions. Obviously he's still got to do his. I'm not entirely sure what Lisk is doing. Yeah, I'd be interested to find that out. Interesting. I've never seen this before. Maybe he's lost his steering. That's a bad place to stop. That is a very bad place to stop. Has he lost his steering? It looks to me as if he's lost his steering. Has he got it back? Um, Sorry, I'm focusing on this instead of the racing. I am supposed to be covering stewarding tonight. There is a battle between Pevan and Ely. It looks like Ely's actually given Pevan the place there, so I'm not sure if there was anything between those two. What's happening with Lisk now? He's made his way into the pit lane. He's got a lot of damage and he is steering, so I have no idea what's going on there. He's all alright. Nathaniel Fever, as we were on with earlier, is currently about 3/10 behind Wolf, and then behind that's kind of a 7-4. That a blue flagged car, or oh no, that is for you. Yeah, so he's yeah, so Nathaniel's about 3/10 behind Wolf in front in Aston Martin. I think Wolf has actually dropped down a few positions from the start, respectively, as Drea completes another lap without pitting. Whereabouts is the man who was in P1? Nathaniel's pitting now. Let's see where he comes out. Jones is in P17. He's still got some quite clear air in front of him. You see Krasnov behind, who completed his pit stop as well. Is about 11 seconds back. So interesting to tell this one really. Jones obviously was in P1 before he went to the pit lane, and he's had some clean air. Drea, on the other hand, was P2. He was catching Darren Jones at a rate of speed. And he has had some clean air as well, but now he is behind some lapped cars, so depending on how fast he's able to navigate these is dependent on what happens with the pit stop. If they are difficult to navigate for any reason, then he will probably do a pit stop and come out somewhere around where Darren Jones is, but it will probably mean a battle, depending on how much damage Drea has, depending on whether he takes tyres, fuel, etc. Had a couple of you guys watching join the Discord server. If you have joined the server, have a look at the events tab to see what we've got coming up, or you can just ask a question. Let us know where you're from, let us know what days you're looking to race, and we'll see what we've got coming up. The Discord series is a major event that we're running at the moment. It's a quarterly series, so it's about 3 months long. That means that it's a bunch of one-off races. There's 2 a week, and there's also some endurance races in there as well. The race this Sunday, or the race this Saturday, is counting towards it. So if you do that, you'll get yourself some good points in the Discord series. And of course, if you do the other endurance races that we've got coming up as well, that'll be some good points. So will Drea box this lap then? Let's have a look. It takes. Yeah, he will. I did predict that because the car's in front. He doesn't want to get caught up in blue flags. It'll lose him some time, and that'll allow Darren Jones the benefit. He slows down well before the pit limiter. Good for him. That is what you want to be doing. So we'll keep an eye on that as to where he comes out in relation to and who was in first, Mr. Darren Jones. He's currently going into sector 2 at the moment. We'll keep an eye on his lap, see where he goes. Overbeck, Gibbons, Wolf are also in the pit lane now. I think we've got Luke Gator, Ely, Alminski and Jemiol also in the pit lane. You can see that on the tab on the side. Luke Gator's done his pit stop and he's leaving now. There's 7 minutes left of the pit window, so those drivers that haven't done it. For example, you've got Hanak, Max Hustle and Heaven. They'll all be doing theirs soon enough. See some changes there. Darren Jones, I think Dre's just coming into his pit box now, so yeah, he's stopping, and it'll be 25 to 30 seconds that he's stopped for, and Darren Jones is currently just heading into sector 3, so he will have about 30 or so seconds until he crosses the line, and then of course Dre's got to get going, and he's got to get out the pit lane as well, so it could be very close, but I do think for sure that Drea will be in front. Obviously Darren Jones had at least 8 seconds of damage to repair as well, so that'll have lost him a lot of time in comparison. If Drea only stops for tyres, which he hasn't, he's also stopped for damage it seems. He's leaving the pit lane now. That was a 30 second 36-second stop, so 2 seconds faster than Darren Jones as he's crossing the start-finish lane now. We'll go on board with him to see what happens at the exit. I reckon it could be close. So Drea's actually not close at all. Drea's going full speed now. So that is a massive gap that he's built up on Darren Jones. I don't know if Darren Jones has had potentially some issues with blue flags or something along the source. As you can see, I believe that's Astakov last in past, but Astakov is... oh, I'm not too sure actually, is it Astakov? I'll tell what car number that is. Maybe we'll see on this. If it is Astakov, which it is, that means Drea's emerged out in 4th place. Astakov is currently your race leader. I did not see that coming at all. So Astakov took fuel only, and he's come out in P1, which just goes to show what strategy can do for you. Obviously, he's on older tyres, so he won't have the pace compared to Drea, but he is now a significant amount of time ahead of not only Stepanov but also Jones. So he could be finishing in about P2, I reckon. Stepanov's just coming around this corner now. You can see the others sort of in the distance in a minute, and then Jones is just behind that. So Astakov has been the pit stop protogenius and come out in 1st place. So fair play to him. Hanek and Max Hussle are currently doing their pit stop now. You can see them both stopping in their relative pit box now. It looks like we've still got Luke Gator in the pit lane. He's come back in for some reason. I'm not too sure what's gone on there. Maybe he didn't put enough fuel in or something like that. But he is back in the pit lane, so that'll lose him a lot of positions. He's dropped 5, he's dropped 6, and he's still yet to get going. So I'm not sure exactly what's happening there. If you are watching as well, give us a follow. Keep updated with the action. We do stream as many events as we can. We've got a team of commentators, including myself. I'm definitely not the best. I don't claim myself to be, and I'm definitely not. So yeah, if you do fancy following us, checking out some other races for the entertainment, I would recommend it. You see Drea right up the rear of Astakov. It looks like actually Astakov is pulling away slightly. His tyres are in a better shape, but Drea's got the run up Eau Rouge for sure. Wow, that is a lot of speed that he's carrying. He's faster through the speed trap by 2 kilometers an hour, and he's got the speed. He's actually backed out. He's gone for the sensible option. He knows there's 23 minutes left of the race, and he knows he's faster, so he's chosen just to take it steady and go for a better opportunity, which, to be fair to him, is what you should do. That's just clean racing. You know, there's no point sending a dive bomb at the inside that might cause a collision, especially when you know that you can make an overtake. Because if Astakov makes a mistake, as he's just done there, it's something that you can take advantage of. So obviously, Astakov in front is going to have a worse line on this exit compared to Drea. Depending on which car is faster in a straight line, so Drea's only going to get closer. It looks like he's not going to make it. Not going to be able to make the most of it. That was very close, I'm sure. And a bit of extra sweat came out of the both of those two there. It actually looks like Astakov's going to give him the position. He's indicated and he's let him through. Wow, so massive respect to these two drivers. Obviously you saw earlier that Drea obviously didn't go for the overtake, and then you just saw there that Astakov just let him through. He just thought, you know what, there's no point battling, you're going to overtake me, so why don't you just do it. And that is what we like to see, to be honest. Although we do love a good battle, it is nice to see drivers actually recognising the fact that there's a faster driver behind them, and it's just better to let them through to carry on with your own race. So now the gap behind is 3 seconds to Stepanov. Stepanov can barely even see him. You can see him just around the corner in front there. So he's got a long way to go if he wants to catch up to P2, and so does Jones, who was in P1 before the race, for the pit stop. So yeah, it just goes to show how much the pit stop can change things. Luke Gate is still in the pit lane, so I'm not sure. Maybe he's had to go do something, or some lines of that. But he has dropped down quite a way now, which is unfortunate to see. Solarino is right behind Spadaro. Looks like Pryor's actually gone through quite a few positions in the pit lane. He finds himself in 13 now. I wonder if he's taken No, he was 34 seconds on the pit stop. I think the only drivers to take only fuel actually was Astakov and Tomet, who's now actually in P12 Porsche. Soloev also only took fuel, and Arminsky also only took fuel. So it's good to see some drivers using a bit of variety on the grid regarding the pit stops. Obviously, you saw how much it did for Astakov. He managed to find himself in quite a ways. So it's a game of chess, it really is racing. You know, got the brains for it. You're going to do quite well. Obviously, it takes quite a lot of skill. I think we've got a driver with us tonight. Switch to him. Gavin Iverson. He is racing on an Xbox controller, so he's doing very well. To be fair to him, to say he's on an Xbox controller. I know it's not the easiest of things to do, and he's in the Aston Martin, so he's got the best choice of car. Not bad livery, to be fair, as well. Nice green tyres on there. Definitely visible, which is what you want. The Spadaro and Solarino, both racing for the same team. They're battling at the moment. Obviously, there might be some team instructions coming into play here. If one of them thinks they're faster, there might be some arguments in the voice chat saying, you know what, mate, just let me through. We saw it up front, as he gets a worse exit there, potentially a track cut for that exit there. And it's given Solarino the exit. The window's now closed, but that is irrelevant. Everyone has done their pit stop. Up at the front, Jones is actually... Hanak is closer to Jones than Jones is to Stepanov, so... interesting to see on that one. About a three-way battle towards the end there, as actually Hanak goes quite a little bit weird. Oh, Jones has gone wide! Jones has gone wide on that corner there. He's going to have a worse exit for this one, but I think he's far enough ahead that it doesn't matter too much. There he's still about 1.6 seconds ahead. It has lost him some time, so it'll be about for the next lap. And he goes slightly wide in the first corner as well. So, to be fair, maybe those new tyres aren't treating him so well, and he might even have some damage on the car. So Stepanov, I think, is actually catching up to Astikov in front. Astikov, ooh, bit unsteady there from Stepanov. Astikov is 2.1 seconds in front. And there's 2.7 seconds behind to Jonas, who is currently being followed very closely by Hanak. You can see there from the thing. No move made on this one. There was some moves made behind. I don't know if that was a lap car. I think it was. Likes of Lisk and Gavin back there. Hopefully Lisk gets out of the way in time. I think Gavin's doing them. Yeah, they both do. Not the ideal way of doing it, but it's nice. These two are actually now having a battle with the lapping cars around. So Gavin gets a worse exit on the Xbox controller, but he holds it well. To be fair, that was a pretty good save to say the man is fixed. Up at front, Hanak is now dropped quite a way back to Jones, and Jones has dropped back from Stepanov as well. So I don't know whether, in the final 17 minutes of this race, I don't know whether Jones is going to make it to Stepanov, and I don't know whether Stepanov's going to make it to Astikov. The last lap time for Stepanov was a 2:15.7, which was a whole second faster than Astikov. So Astikov, with those worn-out tyres, is looking to get some more tyre life out of it. So obviously with the tyres you get the graining phase, but once that's up they sort of come back towards life. Usually that's around like sort of the 12 minutes left of the race interval, so could see Astikov pull away towards the end, but for now he will be struggling with those tyres for sure. Max Hussel is actually catching quite a little bit Hanak in front. He's about half a second now in front. Jemiol, another man that's on a mission at the moment, that gets some bit lane. But Jemiol is about 0.5 seconds behind Darkness in front. Gossel, he's just running in his own race. He's got a custom ACM livery there, which is called Hang It in the Louvre, because it is such a spectacle to witness. It is a good livery, that. Quite as good on the line work as you can see from the official ACM liveries. but it's still a good one nonetheless. Gemiol's looking for a move on Darkness. You can see that Porsche, very nice livery. Another one on the grid that's sporting the ACM logos. So he's looking for a move. We'll go on board actually. We'll have a look at and see what he's thinking. You can see the ACM badges on the back of Darkness's car in front. That livery was designed by our very own Tony Shoulders. He does some stewarding, some commentating for us occasionally. And he also does some liveries as well, so if you're checking him out, he's in the marketplace in ACM. We'll come back to those in a little bit. We'll go and see what's happening up front. So Stepanov is now also another second gained in that previous lap. He's now 0.8 seconds behind Astikov in front, and Max Hussle is now also catching up to Hanak as well. So towards the end here, in these final 15 minutes, it is going to be very close, as I think that is the move made by Gemiol on Darkness. That's there's a bit of damage. Ooh, he's gone wide. I think he'll have kept the position there. Darkness will have the speed. But I don't know if he'll be able to make the overtake. Darkness has some damage on that BMW, and I was about to say Gemiol has none. But I also gave the commentator's curse. I'm going to get away from that very quickly before I do curse him. So Raz Kazchikov is about 0.8 behind Pryor. Pryor's looks like he's made a position on Raz Kazchikov as he goes wide on that corner there, and I think that's Gavin in distance also going wide. And fair enough, keeps it off the track. Max Hussle's looking around the outside of Hanak there. He's not going to make a move. He might be able to get to the switch back there. He goes for the wide to inside entry. He's going to have the speed. He's going to be able to make an overtake with it though. I'm not too sure. He's going to have the slipstream. He goes for the outside. He switches to the inside. Hanak chooses to defend the outside. He's late on the brakes. And he's made the position. Hanak's going to try for the switch back on this one, depending on whether the Lamborghini or the McLaren is faster. It could be a two-way battle between our Rouge here, so it's going to be a battle of skill. That's so close between these two drivers. You see the flames spitting from the McLaren there. I think that was a lift from Hanak which caused that to happen. But very, very respectful driving from those two drivers there, so fair play to him. Nathaniel, who we were on with earlier, has found his way up into P7 now, and he's only 0.7 seconds behind the battle that's happening in front, so fair play to him with that one there. Luke Gates just put in chat that the wall hit me on Eau Rouge. That sounds like a skill issue. It looks like, I think Gibbons is also DNF to this race. He's put a message in chat saying that he's also hit a wall. That's unfortunate to see. A lot of drivers, as Nathaniel goes around the outside of Hanak, he's going on the inside for the next corner. Wow, that was close. The two drivers having a lot of respect there, but I think Nathaniel's going to have the place gained on him. He didn't hit for damage by the looks of it, so obviously it's not affecting him too much. But that is Hanak losing 2 places in 1 lap. Which you don't often see from Hanak. He's a very fast driver. Just maybe Spa is not his track. You see there Nathaniel goes slightly wide, he's on the grass. Hanak goes wide as well, and he's spun! Back tyre on the grass, and he's round. And he's going to have to wait a minute until he rejoins. Or not, he's going to cut across the track and spin around. Fair enough, he wasn't in any other cars, but that's lost him a lot of positions. He's now down in P10. That's giving Overbeck, Wolf and Krasnov this position. So not a good lap for Hanak there. I'm sorry if that was commentator's curse. I actually thought it was going to be Nathaniel that had the position loss there. He was on the grass as well. But instead he's now up in P5. And it looks like, as I was saying, Astikov's found a bit of space. So there's some blue flag drivers. You can see Darkness pulling over and giving way there. That livery is amazing on Darkness's car. The Bragger loves cats livery. But yeah, Stepanov's found a little bit of distance to Astikov now. Drea's ran away with it. He's 8.5 seconds in front. I don't think we'll be focusing on him until the last lap, that is for sure. It wasn't an easy race for him, to be honest. He did have to battle to get back up from that spin at the start. But like I said, no surprises, he managed to do it. Aaron Jones, the man who was leading for the first half of the race, now found himself about 3.5 seconds behind Stepanov, who's now about 0.2 seconds behind Astikov. Hopefully Astikov can keep that P2 position. He does deserve it, as John was saying earlier. He's a driver that's found a lot of pace recently, so he definitely deserves to get himself on the podium. Krasnov, his teammate, was very almost a champion of not only the Discord series but the previous Sunday series that we had. That was the 6-round Sunday. You see Jemmy all giving way there. He's just at the top of the screen as well. Further down the grid, what's happening? Raskazchikov still about a second behind Pryor. Hanak's looking to gain back, potentially on Krasnov. He's about 0.5 seconds. The closest battle on grid is the battle between these two drivers. So stick on with these for the foreseeable future. Keep going on below. Yes, Luke, that was a skill issue. It sounds like the wall hitting you on Eau Rouge was one of those. It was a good race from you, to be fair. Looks like we got the yellow flag between 993 and another driver there. It was which driver was that? I don't know which driver that was. 359 and 993. That's what happened there. If we can. Oh, that's not good. That was a blue flag. I believe that was Gavin. Sat in the middle there. That's Peven's race. Not going as promised, I think. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think Gavin saw got a little bit unsteady on the exit there. He is racing on controller, so it's harder to catch the drifts and stuff. But he was going slower as well. To be honest, with blue flags, Peven should have really predicted it, but it is on the blue flags. Well, I can't really say anything, to be honest. We'll review it after the race. Get the decision out. Stepanov is very close to Astikov now. We'll stick on this battle because I believe there will be an overtake during the next straight. He slightly goes across the curb there, but I think he'll be alright. If you do cut it too much, you do get a track cut. Astikov's chosen to defend the inside. Stepanov's going to go on the outside. Going to be a drag race to the corner. Whichever one breaks the latest, they both break about the same point. Astikov's going to get a good corner. Stepanov will have the inside for the next one, but then Astikov will have the inside for the one after that. And the one after that as well, but I think Stepanov's made that done. So around the outside on that corner, very fair enough to him. That wasn't English, but very well played. And that looks like Stepanov's got himself into P2. Astikov, not quite fortunate enough to keep it P2. There's 9 minutes left of the race, but he's done quite well to get to where he is for sure. What else have we got going on now? So Eric Dreyer actually must have had. No, that's entirely wrong. My timing sheet is off. I was just told that Astikov was 0.8 seconds behind Eric, and Eric is 12 seconds in front. So thank you for that race control. On the other hand, Nathaniel's found his way behind Max Hussle in front, so he's about 0.4 seconds between. I think, thankfully, it's calmed down a little bit now. It's been 39 incidents since the start, and there's only been 4 since the first 20 minutes, so that is good to see. It's calming down a little bit. It's not to say that there wasn't any bad incidents in there. I know we've had a couple of drivers complaining about blue flags and stuff. We're lucky to sort that out, actually. We've had a couple of races where blue flags have not been the best. What we'll do is we'll make sure it's read in the briefing next time. So we'll keep on board with this, actually. It is the closest battle that's happening. Quite different. How much did you miss? Quite a lot. I don't know when you joined this, but if you've just joined it now, you've missed loads. It's been a pretty good battle, pretty good race, sorry, between everyone out here. Dreyer had a little bit of a collision at the start with Nathaniel. Nathaniel's now currently looking to make his way back up past not only Max Hussle, but also Jones. Dreyer managed to make his way up from P6 into about he's in P1 now, so he did that very well. Darren Jones was leading the race for a while, but then had to repair some damage on the pit stop, so he's now down in 4th place. Astikov was in P2 for the majority of the second half, but he's overtaken by Stepanov, and now finds himself in a battle with Jones and Max Hussle, so I think we'll stick with this until the end now. Jones is under pressure by a lot from Max Hussle, and Nathaniel behind is looking to make the most of it as well, so it's going to be a pretty big battle to the end here. Stick around if you are here. We've got a lot to cover on the end. On board with Nathaniel, see what we can see. He's 0.7 seconds behind. Pryor's made his way past Tom 8 into P11. Very well done to you, Pryor. That's a good race. Blanchett, his teammate, is down in P18. And be confirmed for the race. He's got 30 seconds behind Ben Ely and 5 seconds to slow him in front. Max Hussle is very close to Jones in front. Jones, we know he's got P1 pace, but I think the second half, his new tyres have not been treated well. It could be damage, but it doesn't look like that Ferrari has any, to be honest. I believe in Max Hussle are on with at the moment is from Korea. You can see from his livery. Yeah, livery. That is a very nice livery. I'm a massive fan of that one. So if you've done it yourself, mate, fair play. But yeah, he is from Korea. So we've got drivers from all around the world racing with him. It's always good to see. On board. Here it is. Here's the sun. Darren Jones has gone wide. He's going to rejoin and go. He's spun. Darren Jones has spun, and he is going to drop back a few positions. He's going to try and rejoin safely. He's got to wait for a lot of cars to come past. Man, that's so unfortunate to see. We were seeing such a good race from him. This is teams, right? No, it's not official teams. There is team scoring in here, but it is not officially graded by teams. It is by solo drivers. The teams is just there as a secondary sort of standings, just in case you don't win the first one. You've always got a chance in the second. Darren Jones is now in P10. He's going to be angry with himself, but he should be proud, to be honest. He was P1 for quite a while, and he led quite a good race from that. So I think Anek has also had an issue. He's now down in P9. Krasnov's overtaken him. It's given a bit of breathing room to these few here. Now that Darren Jones is out of that position. Askol's still in P3, but he's got Max behind him, who we know is fast, and we've got Nathaniel behind Max, who we also know is fast. You see that Lamborghini spit in flames there. 4 minutes left. It's going to be, these drivers are going to be getting impatient and wanting to make a move. That's not what we need though. We know Astikov to be a very smart driver. We know we've seen a couple races from Max Hussle, and we've seen a couple from Nathaniel in the past as well. Astikov is definitely a key returner to ACM there. Sports the ACM badge in his livery occasionally, so thank you for that. Razkazjikov is currently looking at the back of Tomate. We saw Tomate making a move on. Saw Pryor making a move on Tomate earlier. Sorry. So he's looking to defend his P12 position from Razkazjikov. Looks like Nathaniel's actually dropped back a little bit. Here he's potentially gone wide or something on a corner and he's lost out some time. I think, to be honest though, the top two are pretty much confirmed. As I was saying before Darren Jones span, we have what I wanted this entire race, which is the sun. The point of this race, is the flag car on the outside there, the point of a race starting at the night time and heading into daytime is so that the sun becomes an issue for drivers. It's just a bit of added challenge. The whole point of this season is to have a little bit of challenge in there. Some races are rainy, some races are at night, and obviously this one is the sun. It's visibility that you lose, but I think at Spa it's not too much of an issue. You see these two drivers absolutely going for it. Give him a little bit of a lift there, potentially looking to make a move on the straight instead, which you can see is doing. Astikov takes to the inside again. Well, that's a bit unsteady from Max Hussle there, but he's got the outside. It's going to be a battle of who breaks the latest. And in one corner, that is Max Hussle that takes it. So fair enough to him. Astikov's looking at the inside. There's a little bit of contact. That was very close. But I think they've all kept it. Nathaniel's now looking at the inside. Will Astikov let him by? Will he fight it? He's going around the outside of Max Hussle. That's not going to do him any well with the extra kilometres to cover. And I think Nathaniel's going to make it back past. There's a little bit of bumper cars again. Astikov is going to keep the inside, but he'll have to slow a line for the exit there. And I think that is unfortunately Astikov down into P5. So from P1 into P5, he's fairly well, to be fair. We know him to be a driver that's improved recently, so he should be very proud of himself after this race. Same with Darren Jones, despite having a few incidents that were unlucky in there. But that is Max Hussle up into P3. So he started in P7 and he's found his way into P3. Same with Stepanov, he found his way from P5 into P2 as well, so fair play to those. And then you got Eric Dreyer, who's 15 seconds ahead of anyone else on track, and started in P1 as well. So despite having a few issues during the race, he's nice and happily in P1. He's going to start his final lap now. Yeah, he's on his final lap now, as you just heard the call out there. All he needs to do, just keep it steady, and so does everyone else. Hanak is about 0.1 seconds behind Krasnov. You can see that ACM badge on Krasnov's livery there. Thank you for doing that. Obviously, as I was saying, Krasnov, very fair, very respectable driver. So is Hanak, to be fair. So it'll be interesting to see what happens between these two drivers. If you want us to look at anyone for the final lap of the race, let us know in chat. And if you are in chat and you haven't said hello yet, let us know. Solarino's looking for a move on to mates. It's going to be a battle on the final corner here. He's very late on the brakes, is Solarino, but Tomate's going to get the move up the inside. We're going board with him. You see the sun in the distance there. He gets a worse exit in that Mustang. We know the rear of the Mustang likes to step out a little bit. Hanak is 1.3 behind Krasnov. I'm not sure there'll be a move there. I don't think Nathaniel will make a move on Max Hussle either, but it is all to play for on this final lap of the race. We see a yellow flag from Lisk again. Hopefully he gets it going. She does. Hanak, wow! That is close. That was definitely a camera angle and a hard to cut to there. These two drivers are neck and neck, or tail to nose, I should say. Nose to tail is probably the preferred term. And now they're door to door, and Hanak gets the wider corner. Will he dive with the inside? Probably not. It looks like Max Hussle is 0.1 from Stepanov, so maybe Stepanov has had an issue on the final lap here. But I think we could see a couple changes here. I'll try and keep up with what I can. Max Hussle looks to the outside, looks to the inside. It's all covered by Stepanov though, in that neon green and purple McLaren. He goes wide. Max Hussle is going to have the run down the straight. It's so close between these two drivers, so incredibly close actually. Max Hussle is going to have the outside. He's going to be right behind. It is literally nose to tail. Maybe a little touch there between the two. It's going to be a battle of who breaks the latest on the final corner. Oh, they both make it. Wow, this is some good racing. And Nathaniel's going to be inside on the final corner. It's going to be a drag race to the end, but I think Max Hussle will only just keep his P3, which he does. Oof, that was a race end and a half. Wow, fair play to both Stepanov, Max Hussle and Nathaniel Fever. Don't stop on the finish line, guys. There's still people racing. But yeah, Eric Dreyer, he's doing some donuts. We didn't manage to catch him crossing the finish line. We were too caught up in what was happening. Lucas Hanak finishes behind Krasnov, so Krasnov kept his P8 position. But yet it is Dreyer who won this race, so very well done to you, mate. That was a spectacular race. Just a little kiss there from Hanak. Stepanov in P2, as we saw, with Max Hussle in P3. Nathaniel Fever in P4. Astikov in P5. Overbeck in P6. Wolf in P7. Krasnov in P8, Hanak in P9, and Jones rounding out the top 10. So very well done to all drivers. That was a good race for sure. Just set up the drivers. Let's actually hop in and have a chat with some of the drivers and see what they're saying. In now. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How was that?
All good. I'm just about to cross the line.
Yeah, so. just seeing you're still going. I'll try not to distract you too much.
As long as I don't get track limits now, I'm all good. I'm on my final warning. So
you're on your final warning. We did see one drive-through, to be fair.
There's a couple, I thought, because I think Jamal got one, and then 993's also got one.
Oh, 993, I must have missed that one. That was Pevan that got one. I'll let you focus on the final corner.
That's all good.
Yep. Cool. That's P19. It's P15. Oh, no, P19.
Oh, no, it's P19 because everyone's left already.
Everyone's left. No, fair enough. Very good in the top 20 there. Gossel. Will, you did it quite well there as well. P20?
Yeah, I had a bit of a messy first part with some damage, some incidents, but I came back afterwards in the second half. So yeah.
Yeah, that's good to hear. How did it go for you, Kevin?
Aye, not bad until 993 decided to run us in the arse when I was going out the way of them. What the hell?
We did catch that on the stream.
Never mind. Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Ruined.
So it was on the stream, but yeah, very well done to you, to be fair, on the controller.
Not
Indeed.
too bad.
It's a good result. I'd take it.
Oh, definitely, mate, definitely.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, thank you everyone for joining this stream. That'll be it for us tonight. The next race is on Tuesday. That's a 45 minutes of old G3 cars. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining. And we will see you potentially on Tuesday. If not, we'll see you on Saturday for 6 hours of Kyle Army.
Oh, gosh.